All right, it is 7 p.m. Central sharp, 8 p.m. for some of you people on the East Coast, and I guess it's 5 on the West Coast. I don't know. I don't live out there. So, anyway, hey everyone. I'm getting some feedback here. All right. Okay, there we go. Make it easy. Hey everyone, welcome to R&R with FDR, meaning real and raw, with Frank Rivera, giving you the real stuff, no fluff, helping you become better at business, better at you. I am so excited. Most of y'all aren't even used to seeing me dressed like this in my business community. But hey, this is what I look like after hours. And the reason I am dressed like this is because I have the pleasure of interviewing Fantagery. Is that how you say it? Fantagery?
Fantagery.
Fantagery. Okay. I'll finally get it right. I've been saying Fantagery and my kids making fun of me. Fantagery. Here on R&R, and the reason I'm super excited to have him because he's going to tell us his story on how he built his brand and how he built an awesome community online, and not just a community, but one that sticks, one that obviously really loves him. So he's going to tell us his story, and I think especially, I think this is going to help out a lot of the gamers, streamers, but in my generation, a lot are struggling to learn how to build an online presence. And this guy did it. This guy did it. So I want you to listen closely. We're going to hear about his journey. And you know what? Let's go. All right. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us, a little bit about your journey? Like, when did you first start gaming and how did it go from there?
Sure. So my name is Matthew, Matt, whichever you really prefer. I go by Fantagery BM on YouTube, Twitch, internets. I kind of started gaming back when I was really young. My dad introduced me to games with a old school Atari, and I got kind of hooked on Pitfall, actually. So I may look young, but I did play a lot of older style games, and that's pretty much how it all took off. I started with an Atari, got hooked on Xbox after that, started playing some Halo when I was I think I got my first Xbox when I was 8 or 9, around there. And then I was introduced to YouTube and the online world, and I kind of got interested in that sense, I guess.
Man, okay, wait. I had no idea that you had started on Atari. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm thinking, wait a minute, how old is this guy? No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you just really so you started off with, what'd you say, Halo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played Halo back in the day. Great game. Great game. So when did you decide that, you know what, I want to turn this from being a hobby or just something for fun into something that I probably could turn into a full-time gig?
So it all kind of started when I was about 11 or 12. I started making some I made my first YouTube channel. I've probably made like 4 or 5 that didn't work before this one, but I started out when I was like 11 or 12. And like I said, when I was introduced to YouTube videos in general, I kind of looked up to certain people that if I was having a bad day at school or anything like that, I'd just come home before I'd do my homework. I'd watch some videos and, kind of just relax. And some of these people would just help me kind of relax and smile if I felt like I couldn't, or if I was having a bad day in that sense. So, that's pretty much how that started. And then, like I said, beginning of last year, March, around there, I hit affiliate on Twitch. And that was kind of like oh snap, I kind of got to like take advantage of this. I can actually start making a possible living on this kind of gig. So.
Wow. So wait, so you were affiliate when I met you like way back in March?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So you know what? Let's explain it for those that don't know, because a lot of people, especially in my era, they don't know what the heck Twitch is. I was talking to somebody about like the Capitol riots, and I'm like, yeah, they had them on Twitch. And they're like, what is Twitch? Actually, it was my sister. Never even heard of that. So why don't you explain a little bit about Twitch and what does it take to become an affiliate?
So basically, Twitch is a live streaming platform. Whether like back in the day, it was known as Justin TV, but now it's Twitch TV. And so basically, it started out as more of just a gaming kind of area for people to stream live instead of just uploading videos and getting the comments later on. It was made to specifically interact live, like be able to chat with people live while you were doing the stuff in real time. So then it kind of just evolved into just chatting and pretty much people just really introducing people to their real lives and not only just games. But to hit affiliate, you have to reach an average of 3 viewers, which doesn't sound like that much, but just depending on how much hours you've streamed, it can take a lot of time to get up to there. And also reach 50 followers and like I think stream 4 different days with so many hours in the week or something.
Yeah, something like that. So let me. So out of those 3 requirements, so let me put something straight for everybody here. Most people on social media are just looking at getting followers and getting noticed and getting likes, but Twitch took it one step further by saying you need to have an average of 3 viewers. And people might not think that's hard, but why don't you? How hard was that? How hard is it?
It was super hard. So basically, Twitch is a really saturated platform. Like so many people are on the platform. It's really hard to get your name out there in general. So when I first started streaming, it was kind of like it took a lot of motivation to try and keep going and try to find purpose for what I was doing because I'd be playing games and almost just like I was just playing games and not talking with anybody live or anything like that. It'd be me and maybe 1 or 2 of my friends hanging out. And so I had a lot of hours streamed on Call of Duty Warzone, which pretty much everybody was playing at the time. And so a lot of the bigger streamers were taking all the viewers while I was sitting at the bottom and just having me and 1 other person, which would be 2 viewers, and you have to get up to 3. But with the amount of hours I was streaming, it was very hard to get that built up to a 3 average viewership.
3 average. Wow. Okay, and I wrote something down purpose because we're going to revisit that because that's kind of key. You said like I was just kind of playing and playing games and everything like that, but I was trying to find a purpose. So I want to get back to that because I think that's a big, and I'll be honest with you, that's something that I even struggle with. Now, I'm nowhere near where you are, but I think a lot of that has to do with purpose. So I want to revisit that. So I met you back in March, and you just happened to I don't know how the heck we ended up in the same, what was it, Apex match?
Yeah, it was an Apex match.
Yeah, I was playing with my kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you made such a really big impression on him. So he's actually going to jump on here in a second. He wants to just say hi to you.
Sweet.
Yeah, man, he's editing. He's doing so. As soon as he jumps on, I'm going to have him come in and say hi to you. All right. Perfect. So you're sitting there. You made affiliate, and then you said, you know what? I'm gonna wait. Here he is. Here he is. Let me jump in. Hey, you there, Chrismon? So everybody, this is my 10-year-old, and I want to let you know that we both met Frontagery about in March 2020, and he made such a huge impact on my little kid. So there he is right there. So
how's it going, man?
Good. How's it going for you?
Going pretty good.
He wanted to drop in and say hi, and I believe he had a question that he wanted to ask you. So go ahead and shoot, my man. Get him while you got him, okay?
So I've been wondering, how did you grow your followers so fast?
It sure looks like it was fast. I know that it seemed like it was fast, but it was many years in the process. It took a lot of learning and developing myself. When I first started, I was about your age, so I know what it's like. It's hard to get your name out there, but I'd say once things kind of started taking off, it was pretty much all thanks to Pipeline, the community that me and Nice Shot are a part of. It's a lot of people from the outside probably think it's like a follow for follow community, but really it's not like that. It's more of a learning for streamers to learn like algorithms of YouTube and platforms on the internet, to learn how to get like more content that attracts people, to get them to click on your content instead of just, making a random title and all that stuff. So it took a lot of learning, like 9 years now. And I'd say once it took off, I have nobody to thank besides Pipeline and all the amazing connections I've made.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, Charisma, thanks for the question. I want you to stay on because I want you to hear this last answer. I'm going to ask him something like, you mentioned purpose. I was trying to find my purpose. I was just gaming. So I want to talk about what was that process like, finding that purpose. How did you find that? How did you find that purpose? Because, man, that's so important no matter what you're doing online.
So I'd say after I hit affiliate, like I said, that's kind of when I started realizing like, hey, this is something I could actually make a living on. That's when you can start earning on Twitch, is once you hit affiliate. So Twitch has many ways of earning. There's the bits, which are basically stars for Facebook watchers, or basically like a donation in a sense. So there's that. There's actual PayPal donations you can get. There's subscribers that you can get where they pay $5 a month if they keep supporting you, which is amazing. So I've been blessed enough to have that kind of luck on my side where I have so many people behind my back and supporting me. But I'd say, like, I've always kind of driven off making other people smile, and I know it kind of sounds bad. Don't worry, I'm happy. But in my experience, I've always been the type of person, and I was kind of raised this way, where I like to make other people happy before I worry about myself. So like when I was watching videos on YouTube as a kid and was having a rough day, those kind of people, the YouTubers I watched would make me smile, and I kind of wanted to return that favor. And once I started to get a established community, that's kind of what's been my main driver, really. So that's been my purpose.
To make people smile.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's kind of like expand on that.
Okay.
I have to say, one reason I started streaming was because I got into so many matches and so many people were raging, or you get like a noob. A noob in there. That's my son. That's what he said. I get a noob in there, and they would just tear him apart,
Right.
And I just found like this community was so hateful. So was that kind of your experience, and does that drive your content going forward?
I would say so. Like in my experience, obviously I have moments where I get upset, but I kind of keep it to myself. And, sometimes I'll put on a little anger on the stream because it gets people laughing and people like it sometimes. But I mean, I've never been one to go too extreme. And actually another Pipeline streamer, Rash the Smash, he told me one of the main things that inspired him from me was the fact that I remained calm in those scenarios and I didn't freak out in those scenarios, where I could maintain my composure and, just have a good time and, not be ignorant, if you will.
I like that. And that's not easy to do.
Right. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's harder to hold back, but, I've kind of learned to mask it and kind of keep it toned down. I'm a pretty mellow guy at the end of the day.
Okay. Because you know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of everybody wants to be what's like so popular at the moment. Either got to be the best at shooting, or heck, if you go on to TikTok or even Reels, now everybody's got to be the best dancer. You haven't done that yet, have you?
Oh, I've seen it.
So you may kind of been going against the grain with your whole approach, right? So let's talk about. Before I get there, I'm going to see if Charisma, did you have any last question? And if not, say goodbye to Fantadri. Thanks a lot for jumping on. Did you have any last question?
Actually, yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh.
What made you come up with your merch?
What made me come up with my merch?
Your merchandise. Okay.
So actually, it's a funny story because it's Viking themed, and obviously I don't look very intimidating, but a lot of my ancestors are of Irish descent, and so I actually have an Irish phoenix tattoo all across my back here. So that's kind of paying homage to that as well. But I've loved the show Vikings on the History Channel. I've loved anything Irish or Scottish or anything like that kind of descent. So I call my fans the Funtage Army. So it just kind of worked out that it could have been Viking themed, honestly.
Nice. Okay. Good question, Chrismon.
That
Well,
was a
thanks
good
a lot for
question.
jumping on, my little guy. All right.
Nice seeing you, buddy.
Nice meeting you too.
All right.
Have a good
Take
night,
care.
bud.
You too. Bye.
Adios.
All right. So I'm gonna put a little banner across the bottom because that's my kid's YouTube channel. I know it's kind of hard to look at, but anyway, it's Chrismon right there. All right. So let's keep going about building this brand. So what did you do? You figured out, okay, this is going to be my purpose. I'm going to be someone that's going to keep everybody happy. Okay. And where did you go from there? Because you have I mean, you got Twitch, you have a schedule, I guess. You've
Yeah,
got
kind of.
Discord. I mean, where did you go from there to grow? Because you've grown quite a bit. How many followers do you have on Twitch right now?
So right now I have about 717, I believe. We're pushing for 1,000 this year, hopefully.
Wow.
But I suppose from there, I just kind of, I kept that kind of purpose in mind where I was like, okay, I can start to make impacts on people's lives now that I have an established community. People are starting to, give me not necessarily give me their attention, but they're starting to, give me recognition, and I'm starting to get recognized a little bit more. So I just kind of keep that in the back of my mind where, like, I know, like you said, I've made an impact on your kid's life and all that stuff. So, I mean, I just kind of keep that in mind. I have so many people that tell me, of course, that I've impacted their life, like the binder that we mentioned at the beginning. So I kind of keep that as motivation, and I kind of use that to keep growing and keep the hype up and motivation going as much as I possibly can.
So how do you do that? Because like we were talking about, it's a grind.
Yeah,
and
100%.
um so social media, digital marketing is my world. For those of you who don't know me, I own a marketing agency, and I see a lot of things out there, and a lot of people, they just post stuff, or they post stuff and don't engage. And you obviously did something right to keep growing. So I want to hear about, what is it that you did? What do you think really started to make that difference?
So I guess in my experience, I'd probably say just keeping the energy high. Some games, like on Modern Warfare, if I'm playing a battle royale type game, I can be completely serious, or I can be completely funny in just a matter of a snap of a finger. And I think that's kind of stuck out with most people. And just being kind of younger, I'm 21, so I can kind of blend in with both age ranges, whether it's younger or older. I feel like I can kind of fit in a little bit in both generations. I don't know.
I'm going to tell you one thing that you do, because I've watched it, and that is you have been consistent. So a lot of people don't know, especially on probably a lot of your friends know, or probably they do, my age, they don't know anything about Discord. And I see your messages popping up all the time on Discord. Hey, I'm taking some time off. Hey, I'm going live. Hey, I just want everybody to make sure that you have a nice day. Do you realize how much impact that probably makes on your audience?
Yeah, I've had a few direct messages on my Discord telling me, just like, just even those good morning messages that I send pretty much every day, that I try to at least, they've told me that makes such a huge impact, and like they're just ready to get on with their day after it's just simply reading a simple good morning message, basically. So it definitely means the world to me that I have that kind of power or impact, I suppose.
Yeah. How do you stay consistent like that? Because you're a electrician as well. I mean, you got another grind.
Yeah.
So
So, I mean, I work 7 to 3:30. Excuse me. I work 7 to 3:30 Monday through Friday. So it's definitely tough sometimes. Like you'll see in the Discord, like, hey, some days I'm just too tired. I feel like I don't have the energy that I usually have on stream. So I usually like, hey, today I'm not feeling as high energy as I usually am. So I'm going to take tonight off, rest, and, look at other ways that I can expand the content and, better myself in the content. Um, I feel like just having the community behind me just kind of gives me that motivation to keep consistent as much as I possibly can. Honestly, just how people have told me that I've impacted them and stuff like that. It just keeps me going.
okay, man, that's awesome. So, you mentioned that you had a goal of 1,000 followers this year. Have you found goal setting to be important for your career as a streamer?
I think so. So as a streamer or a content creator in general, I think that it's very important to set goals, even if they're, too far out there. The old saying, it's shoot for the moon and aim for the moon, shoot for the stars. Is that what it was? That's it, right?
Yeah,
Shoot for
yeah.
the moon, aim
I
for the
think
stars. I
sounds
can't
right.
remember, but I mean, even if you don't hit the goal, it's still, it's amazing to see the process, and sometimes you fall short of the goal, but you just kind of got to keep pushing and keep working because nothing comes easy in life. So,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. So, do you have any specific like strategy in reaching that goal?
so I feel like consistency is a huge deal. Is just being consistent, communicating with everybody that I possibly can on my Discord, on Twitter, whatever platform I can reach people on. I also try to, um, you know, I've taken time off recently to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream schedule. And recently I've been trying to build up content on Tuesdays and Thursdays to upload to YouTube. I feel like once I get some YouTube content going too, I feel like that could help bring some traffic over to the Twitch channel as well. But I've also been working on like TikTok. There's so many things that you can do to, bring more people to your page. So
Yeah, yeah. Man, I had a question just popped up in my head. Okay, so look, I'm just going to be real with you because this is real and raw. I don't hold anything back. So, um, I taught marketing for a little while at university, about 3 years. And I don't know if you realize this, but a lot of the things that you're doing, I taught in my class. So consistency, purpose, goal, your messaging that you're putting out there on Discord. Um, so did you go to college?
I did not go to college.
All right. So, I told you, and before broadcast, I'm a big believer in what you do with knowledge, whether you just went to college to get knowledge. You got it. There's a lot of dumb people who went to college. I had some dumb people in my class. I probably shouldn't say that, but anyway, but you're doing a lot of things, man. So I mean, how did you learn all this? You mentioned pipeline.
Mhm.
How did you learn to do all these? Was it natural? Did you read it somewhere? Did you study it?
So at the beginning, it was all kind of natural. I'd say learning up until the beginning of 2020, I kind of just learned it all naturally. I started to watch YouTube videos on how to edit certain things and stuff like that. But after I hit affiliate is when I joined Pipeline, and that's kind of where I learned most of this stuff. Is like, wow, I haven't noticed a lot of this. Like, there's so much more that goes into it than I even could ever fathom. But I mean, I feel like I had a good general idea just by, kind of studying through YouTube videos, online stuff, anything like that. The internet's a crazy place.
Yeah, it is. So all right. So what did you think? What did you realize that what are some things you realized that went a lot more into building your following and building your business really online? What are some
So
things that surprised you?
I think a lot of things that surprised me is just how different websites have different algorithms. So, like with YouTube, for instance, having a certain thumbnail, a certain title, a certain description, certain tags, and stuff like that, it can all depend on like if it depends on what you put that will drive the viewers. So it just really depends. I think the algorithms has been one of the toughest things that I've had to learn so far.
So how do you figure that out?
It's tough. I'm still learning, man. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can read online, but I learned a lot of it from the pipeline community. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still learning a lot about algorithms. I'm still trying to learn everything.
All right, I got it. All right, Infinite. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Said thank you for your service, nice. I appreciate it. Thank you for mentioning that. Thanks for Gigi Swati jumping on. I guess that's one of your peeps there, right?
My star mod.
Your star mod. All right. Okay, so I've been impressed. So you set yourself some goals. So when we talk about building your community online, you got to have some goals. There's got to be an end game. Then you talked about trying to figure out the algorithms. So I know my community, in the business community, most of them are on LinkedIn, but I'm sure LinkedIn has an algorithm. All right, so you got to kind of figure that out. Purpose. You mentioned your purpose. You can mention consistency. Branding. So your branding is your logo. It's also, I guess, your purpose. Is there any other part of branding you can think of that you may have?
I think just the way you present yourself is honestly a brand. Like if you are kind of like a negative Nancy, it kind of is a brand, right? Like if you're kind of down in a bad mood, everybody's kind of going to take that as your brand and they're going to not want to associate with you. If you have high energy and all that, I'd say that's kind of a good brand. And a lot of more people might want to, stick around and learn more about you and have you as a member of their team, I suppose.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. I like that. Hey, what are some things you've learned from gaming?
Some of the things I've learned from gaming, I mean, one of the things that kind of stuck with me is just, really anybody can do it. Like you're obviously older than I am, got your kid. I was young when I first started. I know there's a woman that is also a member of Pipeline that goes by the name of Tactical Grandma that streams on Facebook. She's actually a Facebook partner.
Wow.
And she brings in some amazing people, and she's a legend, and she just rocks out on Warzone too. So, I mean, really anybody can do it.
Tactical Grandma.
Yeah, she is awesome. I swear.
So let's go down that road then.
Okay.
What is it about Tech? Because we got Infinite saying Tactical Grandma is amazing. What is it about her that's amazing? Is it her personality? Is it her skill set? All the above? What?
I think all the above, honestly. Like her personality is amazing, and for being older, she kicks some serious behind on some Call of Duty. So her
whole vibe. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
She gives off good vibes too.
Okay, so let's keep going. So I mean, I'm Gen X, not baby boomer. Thank God, I'm Gen X. No disrespect to my baby boomers watching, but all right. So I don't even know what my kids are. I got a 22-year-old and a 10-year-old. Is there anything that you can say to the older generation as it comes to gaming? Because I think there's this perception from my generation about gaming. And be honest, totally. I don't care if you hurt some feelings.
I mean, honestly, it's really open to anything. There's really a variety of games. There's obviously Solitaire is a game, but there's Minecraft. There doesn't all have to be first-person shooter games or anything like that. It can just be a simple game like Minecraft where you build houses. Sims, you build houses and renovate things. There's life simulators. There's all sorts of stuff. There's farming simulators now and all sorts of stuff. I mean, there's really a game for anybody and anything.
So you just made me think of something. I noticed you used to stick with just one game for a long time. I think you went with Raft. Were you playing Raft for a while? Or
I was really heavy on Call of Duty at the beginning of my channel.
yeah. So why did you switch?
So it all kind of also developed with what I learned from Pipeline, some of the things that I didn't really think of. Like I knew a lot of people were playing Call of Duty and a lot of the bigger streamers were also playing it and taking all the viewers, but I didn't really think about it. But once I read about in Pipeline, like, you know, switching, I classify myself as a variety streamer. So I stream a variety of games. I'll play pretty much anything. I still play Call of Duty somewhat now that I have more of an established community, but I think just learning that you can play different things. Like I think most of my first things or my first success came from switching to Star Wars: The Old Republic, which I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. So, you know, kind of having that knowledge of Star Wars universe stuff, and you know, it was low on viewer counts, so more people could find me, not having to scroll all the way through all the all the other streamers. There's not as many, so they could find me easier that way.
Okay. All right. So variety streamer. How are you keeping people engaged? All right. So you got a bunch of people jump in. They're just watching you. How do you focus on the game yet still engage your audience? And there's a learning point here.
So it is definitely a learning curve, learning not to just focus on your game. But I mean, sometimes they'll understand if you can't respond right away. But I try to be pretty immediate as much as I can, unless I'm in a huge gunfight on one of the games that I have to focus up and, you know, bring home the W, the win. But I mean, for the most part, I'm pretty immediate with it. Just kind of, I have two monitors. So this one where I'm looking at right now is my main monitor where I play my game. And then I have the monitor over here on my right, which will have my stream set up and my chat that I can read. So it's right on the immediate right or left side of the right monitor. So I can pretty easily just look over at it. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to see the messages going off on the side of my peripherals, if you will. So, I mean, for the most part, I think just being interactive is a huge key because a lot of people, especially kids, I know I'm still a kid, but kids don't have very much attention span. So, like, if you don't immediately acknowledge them, they could just be gone like that.
Man.
So you have to be pretty quick.
Okay. So, my gosh, you're like covering everything. You got purpose, you got the algorithms, you got the goal, you have the consistency, you have the messaging, you have the engagement. Man, I think you're like covering everything like straight out of a textbook. That you're doing.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. You know what? I'm gonna share this. Let me this thing. So this is from Infinite. I've seen older generation killing it totally, but I hear from some content creators in the 40-year-old age. By the way, Infinite, how old do you think I am? That are a little fearful of not succeeding. It's hard to get over that fear and have confidence to create content. I love that. I love that. We should talk about that. How do you get over that fear of creating content?
So, I mean, with anything, it's kind of just practice, you know, like if I looked back at my videos, and me and Sarah have actually done it before, Swati in the chat. I know her in real life. I've hung out with her a few times, and we were watching some of my older videos one day, and we were watching them, and I was it was even before I didn't even use a webcam. So I was still nervous. I was still learning. I was 12, 11 at the time. And I kind of just talked in a monotone, kind of, you know, I mean, the energy wasn't there, and it's just kind of a learning curve to, you know, get comfortable in a sense, like practicing and anything like that, anything that you have to put work into, and the grind is real, but you just got to practice, I feel.
All right.
The more you do it, the more comfortable you become, is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah. So have you ever had a time that, this is funny way, she says, because I look 15 and I'm not. I did not know that it's against terms of service to ask age on Twitch. So I am so sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I look like I'm 15 too. So is there ever a time that you felt like you messed up?
Any time that I feel like I messed up, I've definitely messed up a few times. Like there's the terms of service that we're talking about. Like I'm from the Midwest, so we're huge into hunting, fishing, anything like that. And I was like just talking about how this guy, when I first hit affiliate, his name's Matt Best. He runs the company Black Rifle Coffee Company, and he came into my stream completely randomly while I was playing Call of Duty, and he gifted me 20 subs once I first hit affiliate, and that's like $100. So I was pretty blown away, and I was like, in the moment, I didn't think it was like I didn't piece together that it was him, but then it kind of clicked. And I was like, okay. So then I was like, I got to return the favor. I'm going to try this guy's coffee a little bit. I've heard about it, but I've never tried it. So I was like, I'm going to try the coffee. And I got a shirt that says, but first coffee. And it's got a picture of like an AR or M4 or something.
Mhm.
And I took a picture with my AR because I have guns. And so I pulled it up on stream and I was like, oh, it's against terms of service. And then I just kind of like quit the stream and like took it down. I was like, just better play it safe.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. Man. Okay. So, man, so you even talked about tailoring to your audience, because that's kind of when you started to switch up your streams and things like that. Man, we've kind of covered everything. So anything else that you'd like to share about your journey that you think is really important for people to know?
I mean, the main takeaway is, like I said earlier, nothing in life is really just handed to you. You really just got to work for it, and you have to learn more about it. You can't just sit back and, like I said, expect it to be handed to you. Take initiative, go out, read the internet. The internet has pretty much all the answers. Some of them definitely aren't right, but kind of figure out which ones are the rights and wrongs. Trial and error has been one of my key factors on this amazing journey, because you can't do anything if you don't fail at least once.
Well, I love that. I love that. You know what? While I'm thinking about it, we brought up that book that your everybody made for you, that binder. You mind sharing that with us and kind of maybe because I think this is important. Look, nobody's ever gifted me anything on LinkedIn or any social media because they all love me or something. That's huge, man. That really is huge. So talk to us about what your community did for you.
So at the end of 2020, December 20th, I turned 21 years old, and they made my mod, Swatty Sarah, got together with the community.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost him. All right, so we're going to have to wait for a second, but he'll be back in. Hey, look, while we're waiting for him to jump back into the feed, why don't we pop some questions that you'd like to ask him? So there he is. So he's back.
Not bad. I accidentally hit escape or something. See, I make mistakes. But anyways, she got with the community and had some of them, if they had time, to write a quick little message or a long message just telling me how I've impacted their lives, or just, what finding my channel has meant to them. So it definitely is an amazing gift, and I can't thank Sarah enough for putting that together. And just it's an amazing gift, and like I said, a huge inspiration to just keep me going, knowing I have that kind of impact on people's lives.
Man, can you hold it up? Are we able to see what
sure.
the front looks like?
It might blur it out a little bit.
Reasons we love hi. Oh, I love that. Oh man, nice.
So, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So before jumping on here, somebody had asked me the question. This also was on LinkedIn. I put like a poll. What is one of the most difficult things? And one of the answers was finding the right tools to use. Now, I know it's different in the streaming community, but can you, video is big. We know that. Can you share with us what you think are some of the right tools to help you get started, whether it's computer-based or not?
So I think just the internet, like we mentioned, is a huge place. You can learn so much from the internet, but also just, finding like-minded people that have the same interests as you that might have more experience than you is a huge thing as well.
Is that it?
I think so. That's all I can think of. I'm still young, man. I ain't got all the knowledge yet.
That's what you think, because you actually do have a lot of the knowledge. I mean, everything that goes into marketing is, and I'm glad that you have said it, because I see a lot of people online, they just don't do it. They're not consistent. They don't know what the purpose is. They don't know what the goal is. They don't, what's the big word of 2020 was pivot. They don't switch and change for the audience. Right. They don't engage. That's something else that you did, right? What did I miss?
Yeah. Goals.
Goals. Yeah. They don't have a goal. Trying to figure out the algorithm, which you said was a big one. People just put stuff out there. You're hoping that, this one thing is going to help them grow big. This one TikTok, which is why everybody's, I'm so daggone sick of seeing these damn dances. I'm at one moment I was going to try to do it, and I'm like, no, that's not me. That's not my purpose. I mean,
I feel like it's crossed all of our minds before.
I mean, I actually literally stopped following some people. I got so sick of the dancing. But a lot of people just are hoping for that one big thing, like it's going to come easy. And you're talking about, you started this from when you were little, got to a certain age, started looking at YouTube videos to educate yourself. Then you joined a community that had the playbook. So I'm like 3/4 of the way through the playbook right now. A community, and then you talk about finding like-minded people. And then you said, okay, I reached this goal. There's the question I want to ask you. You have a call to action, a CTA. Do you tell people, hey, my goal for this month is this amount?
So sometimes I'm kind of vocal about it. Sometimes I just kind of talk to Sarah about it. Like Sarah, my mod, I'll talk to her about it. But for the most part, if I am really, really pushing, I'll make all sorts of posts like, hey, we're doing this to hit this goal. Like at the beginning, or no, I think it was Thanksgiving. It was around Thanksgiving. I was doing a long attempt at a 24-hour stream where I was trying to hit 700 followers. Yeah, I was trying to hit 700 followers. So I kind of promoted that. I made some videos promoting it. I made a bunch of posts just like, hey, this is when it's going down. This is what I'll be playing. But yeah, I think it's huge to, be vocal about, hey, this is my goal. And it would mean the world to me if you could help reach that goal.
And how much did that help? Did it help?
I think it helped quite a bit. Yeah, we ended up hitting 700 on time. So that meant the world to me. Actually, it might have been 600, but either way, we still hit the goal. And, it still amazes me that I can just, hit the go live button and have so many people just with, like I said, like-minded people that enjoy watching me and watching me grow and support me. It's amazing.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. God, there's a question I was gonna say. Yeah, I think it was like 2 nights ago. Something really, really impacted me a lot. So this guy jumps on. So I'm like, you know what? Let me take the Fantagery, lead and play something different. So I went back to play some Titanfall 2. It has a very low number, more than Hyperscape, but so I'm playing this game, and this dude jumps in, and he's like, I was going down the streams, and I looked for the person that had the least amount of people watching, and I wanted to support him, and he jumped in, and we had a great chat. I mean, that meant the world to me, that somebody would take that approach, because most people go for the high viewers, right? What are your feelings about that? About helping others out in that fashion?
I think in my experience, it's been a lot better because, a lot of those bigger streamers, like if you were to send your community off to them, they might not notice it because they already have millions of messages going. Bah, 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 bah. But with the small streamers, they're just kind of in the zone playing the game and won't have as many messages. And if I had you know, some of them may not have even seen double-digit viewers on Twitch, and, you know, being able to send double-digit viewers over to them, it you can tell it means the world to them. So
Yeah, that meant a lot to me. I mean, we had a great conversation. And I know there's one time I felt bad, and that was when you rated me.
I think it was before you even had your alerts set up, so you didn't even
Man,
notice, and I was like, "Uh-oh."
I listened to pipelines. Like sometimes you just got to turn off the how many viewers or people are watching you.
Oh, yeah.
I turned it off, and when it was all over, I'm like, oh my god, I felt bad. I didn't like acknowledge them. So I think I sent you a message in Discord saying, "Man, thank you so much. I totally missed that." You know, but that meant a lot. So I think you kind of did the same thing as that guy did with me the other day. So cool. You know, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I really want to make this all about you. And I honestly, I think you can take it one step further than what you're doing right now. You know, you're doing great on streaming and gaming, but I think there's a lot that people can learn from you in your entire journey, which is why I invited my LinkedIn network, which is about almost 5,100 followers on there. You know, I sent it out to everybody. I said, you got to listen to this guy. And I think, I don't know if you have that confidence level yet, but I'm telling you, take it from me. I've watched you grow. I've watched the impact you've made. I've watched your community interact with you. I've seen your consistency. I've seen your professionalism, because when I was going to make that logo for you, you came back and said, well, I think if we use this font, and you actually sent me the font. I'm like, damn, okay. All right. He sticks to his branding. You know, I've seen all of that. And a lot of people aspire, maybe not in the same space as you in the gaming space, that they do aspire to grow, because when you grow, as I learned from this guy, I think he was 23 years old. He became a TEDx speaker. Phenomenal. I interviewed him before he got his big break, and he said, Frank, if you can build a community, you can monetize a community. I never forgot that. I never forgot that. You know, and literally, that's what you're doing. So I think,
Thank you.
you know, I think you need to take it up another notch. And I'd be more than willing to help you, get you in, you know, when you get comfortable about speaking about this stuff, to start, you know, educating some, because what you've done is no easy feat. And the fact is, you didn't learn it by going to college and picking up some books.
No, definitely not. It
No,
was
you
literally
grinded, man.
2 days out of high school, I was on my current job.
Man, wow. So you were grinding.
Mhm.
You had, so last question. Where does all this lead for you? Where do you want it to go? What's the end goal?
I really want to hit Twitch partner, which is basically the next step up from affiliate. It's more of it has a little bit more perks, but I think really soon I want to start doing some charity events. I know I can have a huge impact on many people, as I already have. So doing charity, it would give a big place in my heart and take up a very warm chunk of my heart. Even if it's just, you know, getting enough money to get some kids around here some presents that may not be fortunate enough to have them, or to a big organization or something like that. I've wanted to do charity for a long time now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I'm glad you brought that up, because I worked with an organization that provided housing to kids that were kicked out of their home for either drugs or what was the other one? Gender identification. I mean, kicked on the streets by their family, you know, and they provided housing, and seeing the impact they made in these lives. So when you think about doing that, you let me know, because I can get you in contact with a lot of people in the nonprofit space.
Awesome.
I think that's great. All right, cool, man. So, any last words before we get off? And let's see if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, so before any questions come in, I just want to say, obviously, thank you for having me on. It's been an amazing chat. Hopefully, I wasn't too nervous and shaking in the voice too much, but I mean, it was definitely a good chat, and I'm glad I got to share the story with everybody.
Awesome. And you know what? Somebody gave you a pretty nice shout out. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. Infinite context is what drives a lot of success. When you read all your comments from your content, it helps you navigate where to go next as a content creator. Open your ears, listen to your audience, and make content that gives you joy while listening to feedback from your community. I love that. Wow. There you go. Man, that's some great words, Infinite KJ89. It's kind of ironic. My name is Nice Shot. I miss a lot of my shots when I play, but every time I hit one, they go, "Hey, that's a nice shot." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." It's me.
Get used to it now.
Hey, awesome, everybody. Thanks for jumping on. Do we have any questions? I know we ran a little bit over, like 5 minutes. Are there any questions somebody would like to ask before we get off? Just type them in the chat. Probably. So Gigi Swati, sorry been out, but I've kept you up on lurk. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody that's jumped on this. It's my first time actually doing this on Twitch, and I'm really honored to have Fantagery on here. Doesn't look like we have any questions. Look like we answered them all. So
sweet.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much. I do watch what you do, and I emulate it in trying to build my. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. What equipment would you recommend for first-time streamers?
So, definitely don't do what I did, because I mean, it sounds like a great idea, but I went all out at first and bought like all top-notch stuff when it wasn't even taken off and I wasn't even earning anything or really anything like that. I mean, this webcam I still use, it has pretty good quality, but it was like $50. So I mean, that has stuck with me for a while. I plan on upgrading it eventually, get a little bit better quality, but for $50, it's pretty good quality for a webcam. I'd say you don't even really have to worry about a webcam at first, to be honest. I'd say just having a decent mic, whether you're streaming on PC, if you're streaming on PC, just, learning how to set the stream up without having the input lag or anything like that. But if you're streaming from console, just having the capture card and, having some high energy is really all you need at the beginning. So,
okay. So be very smart when you're making purchases about equipment. Good mic, very important.
I'd say so. I'd say good mic is probably one of the first things that I'd go for.
Okay. And here's a question. Let's see if you can answer this one. Why is Matt so great?
I don't know if I can answer that one, honestly. I'm just a man. But thank you, Sarah.
Man, so you're pretty humble. I like that. That's good. That's cool. All right. Any last questions before we get off? I know I'm going to stream tonight.
Go slay it, man.
All right. Hey, thanks everybody for jumping on. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Matt. Fantagery. Hey, everybody. Be sure here are his. Let's see here. Where is it? There it goes. That's how you find him on Twitch. All right, Fantagery BM, and that's it.
Thank you all. Thanks for joining.
All right, everybody, take care. Bye.
Have a great night.
You can stay on. Let's see.